as we are going to pan over to what Stani and Diodora are doing as they are slowly making their way over to the graveyard district. So.
Well, I immediately sense bitch assness on the wind. Hate that man. I hate him.
I know you do. I know you do. The two of you, after awaiting a few minutes, we're going to go back a few minutes prior to the two of you seeing Rory quickly don a different outfit and dart off, heading in the opposite direction than you all had planned to go. What do you all do?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that?
You're so good. Sorry. We're taking it back to where.
We're going to the graveyard. I meant just like the scene that you set. Like
yes.
What?
Yep. So with that, the rain is pouring outside. Rory has just left you all in a different outfit, but hey, fashion. You can see Benji off at his desk, kind of quickly writing. Seems to kind of have almost like a little bop in his step that he was, a point of wisdom.
I just sort of stirred some shit.
Seems very, very proud of himself. So you just see the little, almost a little bit more avian of the head bop come out as he's moving. The rest of the inn is relatively quiet. Either people have already left for the day or they've already come back from late nights. The street is otherwise relatively deserted. What are you all doing as you are, if the plan is still to head to the graveyard district?
Yes, for me it would be, at least, because we need to get this stuff taken care of with Aerie. Mm-hmm. I think what I'll do is I will have Sparky like in the shadows a bit, sort of like obviously like going with us, but like maybe send him a little bit ahead so he can like just kind of be like our eyes and ears, just if they're, because we know that we've been followed for the last couple of days.
Sure.
So just to make sure there's like nobody, if there are people following us, that we have an idea of it.
Sure, if you wouldn't mind.
Or maybe I'll even have him be like behind us then, if we're being followed.
That's a good thought. Whatever you decide to do, can I please get a stealth and a perception check with that?
From Sparky or from me?
For Sparky.
Okay. Okay, I think he gets the advantage on perception, yeah. Perception. That's going to be a dirty 20.
Love it.
And then stealth. Oh, well, that just ran into all my other die, so I don't know which. I don't know. Stealth is going to be. Oh God, he has a +9 to stealth. 24.
Yeah, he's a stealthy boy. Okay. All right. I will bring that up at the appropriate time. Sparky absconds for now, whether to go ahead of you or to... Knowing him, he does a perimeter. He usually moves in a circle. So he'll probably get both, knowing him. Okay. He kind of... I can't get the Pandora as a wolf in our BG3 playthrough out of my head, and now Sparky gets it.
Yeah.
Like that. Step.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what he looks like. And I mean, he does look like a maned wolf, so like it kind of fits.
Yeah.
And then I'll turn to Stein and be like, "Shall we get going?"
They're slowly just following and casting Detect Evil and Good.
Okay.
As they're walking, and they nod, and pretty much it's as if they're doing like, I don't know what it's called with the strings, that like they're messing with strings with their hands to kind of detect evil.
Gotcha.
Oh, they're doing like fucking cat's cradle and shit.
Yeah,
Jacob's ladder and shit.
I could picture. I was like, I can't think of the word right now, but yes,
It's gone.
I'd like think back to the book I had as a kid that like taught you like the patterns and stuff, how to do them.
Yep.
I have a question
Sure.
for Stani.
Ooh.
Because it's raining, right?
Yes, it is still
Does
raining.
a
Thunder, and
Stani have
lightning.
how does a Stani protect herself in the rain? Because I know she ain't getting wet. Or
No, it takes like 100 brushes to just like get the mane right and the hair and the tail. So I think Asani is in what I would call rain luxe, but like secret. So it's darker colors, muted. There are no bells, but there are little tassels at the edge of the hood, and it's waterproof. But it doesn't look like it. Looks very like velvety and soft and warm, and it drapes over their shoulders and towards their back. And I think they have their hair now braided down into like two little like long pigtails, and the tail as well braided down with like, I think they would use like gold wire still to be like, we're still gonna be cute even if we're going to go outside.
This is why Rory had to leave first.
Yep.
Because Asani was like, it's raining out, ain't no way. I imagine it's like not even like a raincoat or a rain slicker. It's more like a moisture wicking thing that like just like the water just beads off and you like, just
exactly
look fabulous. Okay. I had to ask. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I
thank
need to
you.
know this.
No, I love it. I love it so much. Incredible. All right. You are all donned up in the rain.
Theodore's just getting soaked.
Yep.
Like she's like, I don't care.
Which I think is a fun
wish
contrast
you
as the
can-
two of you are walking, but like when not wearing any.
I
kind
know
of rain-
Astani has asked like once or twice, like, you want to walk with me? I can raise the cloak so you stand next to me, and then you won't have to get wet, dear.
I'm fine. I live in the wilderness.
Oh,
I'm used to getting rained on.
and then like 2 minutes later, like, are you sure?
Yeah, it's like, you're so soaked.
You're so soaked.
Your hair. It's like I have like the shortest hair because I chopped it all off. Yeah, I guess we just make our way towards the graveyard district. How? I don't remember. How far is it from the inn?
It's about 15 minutes. Because you're right at the outskirts of the grotto, right where the grotto and then the graveyard district kind of meet. So the main thing is just getting through the archway that separates the two.
Okay.
So it doesn't take long for you to see the shift in the environment, the houses changing slightly as they get a little bit older. You would know that this is the second oldest place in Ampistrano, so a lot of the homes and streets, much like the Strand, some are well kept, some are not, for that very reason. But the cemetery, the walls surrounding it, doesn't take long for them to get within your sight.
Okay. I'll like cautiously approach the graveyard.
Yep. You're not getting any pings from Sparky just yet.
Okay.
It looks largely the way that you left it the day before. Bit more rain. Astadi, I would say probably you with your passive perception. You do pick up fresh spirit claw marks on a couple more of the fresher graves.
With detect evil and good, any undead within 30 feet?
No.
Okay, so they'll just whisper to Fair over there.
To Fair?
Who's Fair?
Sorry,
Fair,
God,
Fair
don't know
TV
who.
right now. Who is that?
Wait,
Who is that?
Theodora, just be like, don't know where that name came from. Sorry, I was probably hearing something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whoever
The
that is, they
spirits.
must be really fucking cool. So
Very
funny
cute.
and hot.
They just, this over here, and just like position themselves to like that direction.
Okay. And you can see it's on the fresher of the graves. It's again that same kind of sickly, kind of green essence is kind of pulling every so often from these large kind of divots. It almost looks like someone dug their hands into dirt or sand, like they were trying to hang on and then were being pulled. And you can see those marks trailing from those graves through the cemetery to, in the distance, not too far, but in the distance, the mausoleum.
Okay. Also, I just because I know Astani we specifically asked for fiends, but I want to know if any of the creatures on the list are around. No, you asked for undead, so I'm gonna need to know if anything is around. Because don't trust it.
Sure. Based off of your passive perception, you're not getting anything. There's a couple people milling about the cemetery, but they're not all black cloaked, I would say. Giving the worst vibes. These are individuals that you can see laying flowers at some of the graves. Some of them you can see are actually seem to be trying to care for some of these graves. Because you can see in other portions of the cemetery, since it's all not one level, there are divots. And so the water kind of pulls. And you probably have heard in your time in Jorix proper over the last couple of days, it's not uncommon for there to be enough rain that the graves rise up and then float because of that. So
yeah, they should probably get above ground
a little bit
stuff, but a little stubborn. Get it? Yeah, y'all might want to visit a place called New Orleans. It might teach you a couple things, but okay. So,
but
I think as we're we're going towards are we going towards the spirit claw marks right now, or are we going towards the mausoleum?
Where would you like to go, Stani?
Oh, I think they would be curious about the claw marks because it's happening here. But if they're going to, if it's on the way, they'll be like, I'm kind of curious, and this is something we're looking for. So, I could go quickly with Sakali and come back return with you to the mausoleum if you wish.
No, we go together. I'll follow wherever you want to go. I think Theodora's kind of reluctant to go back to the mausoleum. I'll be and it's obvious that she I don't care if we don't go right now. Trying not to say it like that,
Sure.
Yeah.
But also doesn't want to Jeff genuinely doesn't want to split up.
Yeah. There's two things though. I think there's that I'm curious about this, and I'm guessing Asani has very high perception, so they might have noticed that stop to not want to go to the mausoleum as quickly. But when you say I'll follow wherever you go, they have a turn of will you now? And then they just keep going to this to be little.
Theodore's did I say something? And everyone's what did I say something wrong? I said something. I felt like I said something normal.
All right.
Just oblivious.
And you do see they're kind of on the path, but also slightly off, right? If you're following if you're going the trail backwards from where they originated, it's obviously the graves. You see the ones that you saw the day before off on your left, the fresher ones. These look like they occurred just the night before. Off to your right. Couple tombstones down. The earth still freshly overturned, muddied obviously because of the rain that's continuing to fall. But fresh. And you can see that the deeper kind of marks are directly over the grave itself. You can see what looks like almost like an circular impact on the very center of the grave itself, and then the claw marks happening almost directly outside of that circle. The circle itself is probably like this big. It's not that massive. Size of a basketball, maybe. And looks like something was pulled. Why don't you go ahead and roll a history check, since it's been a hot minute. Astani specifically.
I didn't even move to get my dice. I knew you weren't talking to me.
Yeah.
I
quickly opened that sheet up. I was like, this is me.
Intelligence? Ain't no way. I'm all strength, baby.
This is about the dead? Oh, I quickly switched to that sheet so fast. That is a 16.
16. If you recall, you and your mentor, just around the time that her disappearance happened, had been tasked with looking into strange occurrences within the graveyard district. Lights appearing. Specifically, orbs. And strange lights in the sky. The northern lights, far south than they are normally, especially this time of year.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Just because there are such thing as southern lights,
Mm-hmm.
so these are like, how can you tell if they're specifically northern lights?
These northern lights are based upon the coloration, and it was typically accompanied with cooler weather.
Okay.
Good question, though. Because, yes, I did look into that. I was like, oh, there's southern lights, too. Oh, crap.
Yeah. So I'm like, what do you mean? Like, baby. Not in Ampistrano, there's not.
No.
How dare you bring real world shit into this game? How fucking dare you?
I know. With the report that you were given, Astani, the orbs had been specifically sighted around new graves. Usually the window being of about 24 to 48 hours.
Oh.
I know I am not Astani. I just but I have questions.
I love
it. I'll say Ostani's going to like say it out loud. They're going to mutter just, I'm glad that you worked with me. This is peculiar, but and then just relay like that this has happened within that amount of time.
Yeah. And I mean, because we, even before we met Astani, we had heard about the orbs in the graveyard district. That was what I think. No, after we met Astani, I think, and that's why we wanted to come and like investigate it in the first place. It just so happened to be that it aligned with what was going on with Aerie.
Yeah.
But we were always going to come here because of the orbs. And as Astani says that and like triggers that, and like it kind of triggers my thought process a little bit about that, and I'm wondering if the orbs that were reported being seen in the graveyard district, were they being seen traveling in any specific direction?
Largely, the reports had been, some looked like they had been almost dancing before floating up into the sky. And then others had been, from their angle and from the reports, had been just moving through.
Okay.
Almost like a person walking through.
Okay. Because I'm wondering, and Theodore's wondering, if like, if these orbs, which she is assuming are like people's spirit energy, if they were traveling in the direction of where that beast came from, because we saw all the souls coming from out of that creature going towards the sea.
Gotcha.
So
no, that makes sense. Astani, I'm going to ask you a question, and this might help with things too, because I'm going to have you roll. You've helped individuals move on before. Move on into the Lady of the Veil's embrace. What was the last one that you did, that you helped? And what did that look like? Inviting someone into that embrace gently.
Oh, I think they have done it so many times, the ages and who they are kind of melt all together. It is heartbreaking if it is someone young with so much left for them, but it is part of their work. I think Osani finds it harder to walk away from, or at least just the last one she remembers is an older grandmother who probably lived far, far into their old age, surrounded by people who were reluctant to let go of their memory. And someone whose smile and kindness, like they probably knew that this was coming in time. And so Losani was probably called earlier and helped them through this way, and saw a little bit, a flicker of their life before they were helped along. And maybe even when they were helped along, just can imagine their jokes, their kindness, the way they're like, their spirit wanted to still cling on, not because they're ready for the rest, but because there were still people who needed her and that kindness that she had and held. That tangible proof of your, like, of who you are still in the world afterwards. That's something that the last memory she has is of helping her rest.
And she greeted you with a smile the whole time. As you watched that cinematic record of her life play, taking her to that in-between where ultimately whatever is next is there for her. She went willingly. I bring this up, and why don't you go ahead and roll a perception check, and you can add your spirit to that.
Thank you.
I had a feeling you were going to ask. You can go ahead and add that.
It's a 6 + 8 + 6.
6. So what's the total?
12 + 8.
20.
Oh, 20. Heck yeah.
Yeah, nice. You have seen and experienced across your time as one of the watchers of the Veil. You've seen people pass peacefully and move on. You have aided others in banishing them as well into the Veil's embrace. For all must undergo some kind of judgment for where they're to go after this. This doesn't look like a banishing, but this also doesn't look like this is an embrace. This is what you can tell based upon the lack of any spirit evidence otherwise here. And I say, not from the scratch marks that are there. There's usually some kind of essence of a person's being left behind. A ripple effect of the watermark that is a person's soul. Nothing. Void. That is gone. Honestly, the only reason that you know some soul existed here is that marker on the tomb or the tombstone itself, as well as scratch marks that accompany it. There is nothing. You don't get any essence of moments of a person's life. You don't get the threads of the veil touching here. Nothing. This spirit was forced, pulled, caught in some kind of riptide or current, and the epicenter is that mausoleum. But there is nothing of this person left. All you see before you in common is the name Tanara. Just simple first name, no last name. And based upon the dates, they looked like they were 25. Having passed a date showing this year, probably about 2-3 days ago.
There's a shaking of the hands as they're like drifting it over the grave and kind of covering where the claw marks are. Like when you see something etched on a wall or scratched on a wall, you're kind of feeling like the intensity of what left that there. And they look back to the other with, I think, just watery eyes. Just, the spirit was taken. And we both know where it is. It's just so gruesome and unkind.
I know. It's selfish to not let people rest when their time is done.
Whatever it is in there that is doing this, then we should go meet it. If it's doing this despicable act just to, gain more power or cause more harm, whatever it is, I am... And they're just like getting back up onto their hooves and like almost stomping a little bit. I have no interest in returning there, but we must.
Yeah, I think it's obvious I don't want to go back either, but no one else is going to do it.
If no one else will, then we must.
You get me.
I do. They'll just, I think they'll leave like dried lavender and certain things at the grave, and in hopes that if they are successful in the mausoleum, the spirit can find its way back. And we'll get their stuff ready, and I think I'm going to look through my spells because I know Asani's going to prepare something. This has only emboldened them to smack somebody for doing this. So they're just working on that and following Theodora.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll like kind of touch the grave, the headstone, like just sort of like in a respectful manner, like, you know. Is there any shadow around this grave?
No.
None
that is like, one, because it's raining and dark outside as it is, so it's not really casting a shadow, but based off of like shift weave additional, no.
Yeah, I mostly meant shift weave.
Yeah.
Okay, which I guess, tracks with what we've experienced so far lately. I just want to see if I could, like, find any memory that would help. But instead, I'll just, again, respectful pat on the tombstone and then drag my feet towards the mausoleum.
And the both of you walk past names. And Astani, you see other scorch marks. Like I said, the ones that are not as fresh as Tanari's. Off to your left, off to your right. I think it's one of those things of like you didn't notice it as much before. You noticed the one, but now you're aware of it. It's that phenomenon of like, okay, now I see it plain as day because now I know what I'm looking for. And you see that it's happened for the vast majority of the graves here. Anyone else who's walking by, it just looks like regular markings. Maybe someone plotting to do another grave in that area. Or a small animal moving through. There you go. Thank you. Small animal moving through. There's not really someone trained like the both of you are to be able to pick up on this. But eventually, you find yourself standing in front of that mausoleum. Doors are shut. It looms above you both. And we'll pan the camera back to Rory in this time.